There are moments when the human mind, in its stillness, brushes against something vaster than itself. A sudden idea, a dream that feels not entirely one's own, a premonition that later proves true. These moments hint at an invisible network, something beneath language, beneath culture, a hum of shared awareness. We have long thought of ourselves as discrete thinkers, individual consciousnesses walking through the world like self-contained lanterns. But what if we are more like fireflies in synchrony, blinking in patterns we don't fully understand, caught in a field we cannot see? What if thought is not only internal but environmental, an echo in a chamber we all inhabit? This is the question at the heart of what follows. The whisper beneath the noise. Human beings do not believe in a vacuum. Belief is not a solitary act. It is a social one, a recursive loop of affirmation and repetition. What we accept as true is often what we have heard enough times, seen enough people endorse, or emotionally associated with safety, meaning, or identity. This is not weakness. It is structure. The human psyche builds itself atop patterns, and those patterns are fed not just by data, but by resonance, by the echo of others thinking the same thoughts. The implications are immense. If enough people believe in something, it becomes real in its effects, regardless of its correspondence to sensory input or reason. It is through this mechanism that the impossible becomes plausible, that myths become laws, that lies, repeated often enough, outlive the truth. And this same mechanism opens the door to a more radical possibility, that thought itself may not be locked within the skull. Belief beyond the individual. What we believe shapes what we see, but more crucially, how we come to believe is what shapes the architecture of our minds. Through cycles of affirmation and reaffirmation, beliefs gain weight. They gather mass like snowballs rolling downhill, becoming not only psychological habits, but invisible pillars of the world as we know it. These beliefs can override direct sensory experience. People will deny what they see, feel, or even suffer if it conflicts with what they've been taught to believe, especially when that belief is socially reinforced. In extreme cases, belief even overrides the instinct for survival. Cults, wars, martyrdom, systemic denial. History is full of instances where belief trumps self-preservation. But this isn't just the madness of the few. It's a structural property of human cognition. We are shaped by thought patterns that are not entirely our own, but passed down, shared, echoed. Every mind is a node in a larger web, and what we believe doesn't only define us, it extends us. This raises a potent idea. Perhaps our minds aren't just personal territories. Perhaps they're permeable, touched by others, tuned to a wider signal. The Hive hypothesis. Imagine that thought is not a closed circuit, but a broadcast. That consciousness has a field, like gravity or magnetism, that we are constantly participating in, even without knowing. This is the essence of the hive mind hypothesis. Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious, a deep reservoir of archetypes and inherited memory that influences every individual psyche. Rupert Sheldrake proposed morphogenetic fields, a kind of informational field that guides form and behavior across generations. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin envisioned the noosphere, a planetary sphere of thought, a kind of cognitive biosphere encompassing all human mental activity. Even outside metaphysics, the concept finds resonance. The internet, while digital and external, mimics the behavior of a collective mind. Knowledge passed instantaneously, ideas spreading like neural impulses across a planetary brain. And what if this is not merely metaphor? What if our visible networks are just shadows of a deeper, older connection? One that predates wires and satellites, one we were born into. This hive, this field, might explain the sudden leaps in human innovation, the synchronous discoveries, the shared dreams. It might not be aliens nor accidents, but the emergent effect of billions of minds quietly harmonizing through a layer we've never learned to measure. Thought as transmission. If thought can be shared, it can be transmitted, not in the crude sense of mind reading, but in the quiet, constant sense of influence. You think something, I think something similar. Neither of us spoke, but the field carried the signal. This reframes thought itself. It is no longer private, isolated, or harmless. It becomes relational. It becomes environmental. Like a scent in the air or an unseen pressure, our internal states may affect the minds of others, not just through words or actions, but through presence. Consider how you feel when entering a room charged with tension, or when someone nearby is silently joyful. You can feel it. These are not metaphors, they are signals. Perhaps we are receivers as much as emitters. And if this is so, then inaction matters. Silence matters. What we do not say, what we merely feel, could still ripple across the collective layer. Fear is contagious, so is hope. The field listens. Developmental implications. From the moment we are born, we are shaped not just by hands and voices, but by thought patterns already in the air. A newborn does not learn in isolation, it absorbs. The tone of a mother's anxiety, the shape of a father's expectations, the culture's invisible rhythms. Before we can name them, they enter us. As we age, this field continues to mold us. In adolescence, we begin to echo or resist it, joining the hive or rebelling against it, but never fully escaping its reach. Even rebellion is often just the field in reverse. By adulthood, our minds have formed, but they are not solely our own. They are composites of absorbed narratives, collective fears, inherited aspirations. We project these onto others, into systems, into technology. The world becomes a mirror of the hive's beliefs. In this way, the psyche doesn't just respond to the world, it becomes the world. And if the field is real, every thought we hold is a vote in the shaping of that shared reality. The ethical weight of thought. If we are transmitters in a shared field of consciousness, then our inner world has moral weight. Belief is not inert. Conviction is not private. Even imagination becomes consequential. To think, then, is to act. To doubt or to hope silently is to broadcast. To dream of a better world or to resign to despair is not a solitary indulgence, but a signal cast into the collective. This reframes ethics. It suggests that what we hold inside us is not only ours to bear, it is everyone's burden or everyone's gift. So we must ask, what are we believing? What are we feeding into the field? What signals are we broadcasting into the hive, even in silence? Because whether or not we see it, whether or not we name it, we are all participating in the silent chorus, and the chorus is listening.